What's going on, guys? So today's video, I wanted to chat about some of these fast slash important characters for your GAC teams that you need to be having fast speed sets on. Majority of these are going to be, straight up speed sets. Although there are going to be a few that you can probably go with, like, depending on who you're going to go for, with like who the character is, whether it be DPS or a tank. You can kind of swap up the sets, but typically for the most part, you want to just be rocking a speed set. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite defenses and offenses, and maybe you guys have some of the similar ones. And then we'll go and just see some of the factions I might have missed and some other teams I might have missed as well. So I'm gonna start off here with my defenses. So yeah, my defenses are really whack because I do a different defense than a lot of other people do. So typically this is probably the one you would see in GAC with Bast Lashan. Just forget about just forget about that short trooper. But typically you're gonna have somebody like this. And we'll just toss in him as a fifth because we can. So this can be a team, or you can swap out, Marauder for Malik. But it's a team with Darth Revan. So Darth Revan team, who really wants to be the fastest here? Well, the thing here is it's kind of weird, but you want to have the fastest speed set on your Bast Lashan Fallen, but you still want to have your Darth Revan be the fastest one. The reason why this is going to be kind of weird is because the flat base speed of the Darth Revan is just plain faster than a Bast Lashan Fallen is. But the reason why you want to make sure that she is really fast, and you want to make sure you have one of the fastest speed sets on her, is to kind of stomp out a potential mirror match. Because if you have a faster Bast Lashan Fallen, that makes it so that the enemy will get corrupt battle meditation, which means that they can't really apply any debuffs, and that is huge. So really, you want her to be kind of fast. I guess I can show you my speed. She's not really used in this team. She's really used on offense, but she's 300 speed, gear 12 plus both the gear 12 plus pieces. Just went off the finisher. Pretty solid. You want to make sure that she is really fast, just so she can get fear off, and her CBM, her corrupted battle meditation. So that's probably who I'd say you want the fastest speed set on, but just the plain out faster. Just the plain fastest one here, you really want to be Darth Revan because of his AoE fear potential ability there. Okay, so I think that's a pretty easy one, right? The next one here is with Jango. Teams in your GAC for defenses. Yeah, you can rock a nest with Jango, like what I'm doing. But you don't have to have a nest here. It's not really a necessary thing. It just makes it a little bit tougher for the enemies who are fighting you to stomp out some of those, like, JTRs and trooper teams, which I like to stomp out. So in this one, you kind of need a couple, I would say, fast, but I would say probably one of the fastest ones in really any of these teams. I do like a fast Jango, because if you can get a fast Jango going, that means that you get this applied here, the conflagration, which means that he's going to be burning everybody. And if he's a leadership, which I would really recommend that you guys have him as leadership, you're going to have it so it's tied into his leadership that enemies that are burning can't gain bonus turn meter. So this is really why it kind of stomps out those JTR leads. You can make an argument here where you kind of want Bosk a little bit faster, but in this particular Jango Nest team, or really just any Jango lead teams, you do want to have really all your guys to be kind of fast, like 270 plus speeds. So yeah, you can have your Bosk and saying that your Bosk should be kind of fast, which I kind of do agree with, but I have in my turn order that Bosk kind of fits in the middle so he can get his taunt up, and then they use the other Bounty Hunter uses their abilities, and then he gets his turn back, So I do like a fast Jango Fett here, and I do like a fast Bosk, as long as, they both fit into the correct turn orders with not having Bosk be the last one, because you want him to still use his taunt and then use his massive assist back to back. So if you guys can figure that out, that's awesome. So Jango, I would probably still say, is one of the fastest one you want here. But this is an interesting one here. So for gear 12, a speed set is very useful because it's easier to hit those fast speeds. But this guy's an attacker. You want him to be hitting hard. With gear 13, I would definitely mod him differently. I would go for crit damage and possibly some potency, because, like I said, with his leadership, whenever somebody's burning, they cannot gain bonus turn meter. So I would still want to probably try to stick some of those burnings if you can. So there's Jango Fett. And moving on here to the Nightsisters. So Nightsisters are a really great team, guys. These guys are great offensively, defensively. Really anywhere you want to use them, they're awesome. So for this one is kind of... for the most part, I think this is quite easy. Yet again, there's a couple guys you would really want fast here. One of which I would still like for you guys to probably get the fastest is your Spirit. So there's a reason why I like Spirits a little bit faster, just because you can get rid of a pre-taunt really quick with her Possess special, and make it so that, you know, for the other specials from, you know, Mother Talzin, you know, they go on to the right people, and it's a little bit easier to control them, I guess you could say. However, I guess you can also think of it that if you have a faster Asajj, she can use her Strike Fear ability to strip off the buffs, and then boom, your Spirit can go right afterwards. So really, these both can kind of change up depending on where you think that your counters are going to be pulled from. And it all goes back to GAC counters and what the history is on the opponent and what they like to use their counter for this team, Nightsisters. So whatever that team may be, you can kind of swap around who wants to be the fastest. And this kind of goes along with really any teams that you wanna place in GAC. So I still do like a fast Spirit. Right now, mine is at 295 plus the 30 from the leadership. So 325. Let's hope I did that math right. Quick maths. So like I said, this one you probably don't want to speed set unless your offense or your crit damage set just cannot get there. I would probably go for a speed set then, but I do like crit damage. The only reason I'm rocking offense here is because I don't have fast crit damage mods at the moment, but ideally you want crit damage here. If you guys, let me know if you guys will be interested in me going through an entire list of people you want offense mods for and offense sets. I can do a whole different series from every single mod in the game, and sets rather in the game, and who you want to have them on, and which ones are the most effective with those sets. Let me know if that's a video maybe you guys want to see. But for Spirit, I would say just go for a fast offense or crit damage set if you can. If you can't, go for speed set. But there you guys go on her. And then like I said on Asajj, she is another fast one. She does get 15 for every single person who does not have a buff on them. So pretty much 75. So adding that onto her base speed and then adding on her leadership, she's already got, you know, 105 extra speed, so she's going to be fast as well. So it's not that hard to get Asajj up fast. So that's that team, Nightsisters. The next one here is with the droids. So I am running a BB-8 team here. I do like this team for my GAs. I think it's a great team. However, if you were to run a vanilla Grievous team with droids, and you want to slot back in, my Droideka's in a different team right now, but if you want to slot in like Droideka, maybe Newt, or heck, if you want to toss in Watt there, in that specific team, let's just chat about a vanilla team with Droideka right now. You do want to have your B1 to be the fastest, because if you can have him be the fastest, he can use his Blast Him ability and then try to inflict target lock on somebody, and then that person, pretty much the AI with what I've seen so far with the droids, if somebody has target lock, all of the droids hit that person with target lock, and then that means with the Grievous leadership, it gives out more turn meter whenever somebody damages a target locked enemy. They give out 2% turn meter doubled for Grievous, which is awesome. So having a fast B1 makes it so you get a lot more TM going off the bat, and also it's nice to have him fast so that after he gets that early on turn, the other people go, and with that, they're going to use their specials, and with their specials, he's going to get even more turn meter, because it says here, when another droid ally uses special ability, he gains 15% turn meter, which is awesome. And on top of that, whenever you are hitting a target locked enemy with another person on your team, he calls into assist, so you can get even more turn meter, which is awesome. So I would say that you want him to be one of your fastest, if not the fastest. In my BB-8 team I like running, I don't need him to be fast, because BB-8 gives out crazy turn meter, so I just go for offense here. But typically you want him to be kind of fast. In the Wat Tambor team, I would probably say you want B1 and Wat Tambor to be kind of fast, because you want to make sure that Wat can get off 2 pieces of tech really before the enemy team can do much of anything crazy to you. You can get tank tech onto Magna Guard, and you can also get a weapon tech onto Grievous if you wanted to. Defense, though, that is very... The AI is so stupid when it comes to the second piece of tech that they give to somebody like Grievous. They never really give weapon tech to Grievous. It's really stupid. But they always do give the tank tech to whoever is the healthiest person there. In this instance, it's going to be Magna Guard. So, really, B1 and Watt, you want to be fast. Moving on. This is another team here with Newt. It's a Separatist team. I like this team a lot. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. I just like the Sun Fac and the Dooku here. And I don't like Carthlead. If you guys know me, I don't really like Carthlead too much in this game. So I feel like Newt's a really great, use of Zalbar Mission. I still need to get Newt Zeta on his unique because you get more damage output. But in a team like this with Newt, let's just say this is like an average team with Newt and Dooku, and you maybe want to toss in like a Ness and somebody like that. In that, and maybe some other scoundrels. But in that team for you guys, who do you want to be the fastest? Well, I would say you probably want Dooku to be the fastest one in there, and then following up with Newt, because both are kind of fast. Dooku is one of the fastest characters in the game. You can give out with his ability here, the Master of Makashi. You give out more turn meter to all non-tank Separatist allies. You give him 15% turn meter and stealth. What that means is that also Newt here, he's on a tank, so he's going to get even more turn meter to make sure that he gets off his dubious dealings extortion early on in the battle. And if you guys don't know what extortion does, it's really, really awesome with how this kind of feeds into his leadership, because enemies who are extorted, they get more speed and potency. And whenever it says also with the leadership, why I like this actually so much is because if they don't cleanse that extortion at the end of their turns, it gives it to somebody else, which is awesome. And then the unique also gives out a little bit more where is it? Gosh, I forget where this one is. I think this is part of his unique, but I just can't remember where it is. Oh, here it is. Enemies with extortion have less speed and offense, which is great. So that's awesome. But pretty much in this team, I think you want Dooku to be the fastest just so you can get Newt's turn off fast. And then with that, it would actually, in this specific team with a non-tank, it's not going to give them stealth, so they're going to actually be a little bit out in the open, which is great because they're a tank. You want them to taunt, so that's awesome. So I think in this team, you want to have Dooku fast. Mine's not that fast. I'm not going to show you. It's really bad. It's really pathetic and bad. But yeah, you want to have Dooku fast there. So the next one here is with Geos, and this is a different kind of comp that I like running with Droideka. It just allows me to spread up my teams a little bit more, but let's just say this is a standard team with Sun Fac in it instead of Droideka. So in this team, who do you want to be the fastest? Well, it's kind of easy. You want GBA to be the fastest one here, Geonosian Brute Alpha. There's a few reasons why. One of my favorite reasons is because I'm pretty dang sure that with the AI special and which ones they prioritize first, I'm pretty dang sure that they use this glaive sweep first, because at the very beginning of a turn they don't really use cleansing. I could be wrong here, guys. I could be wrong, and maybe they do give out this, but really if you think about it, either way, with both these specials, the reason why you want to be the fastest, because let's say for example the AI does use this, they gain more turn meter and they give out even more HP protection, and then if you were to use this one, it removes 15% turn meter from debuffed enemies. So it's really it's kind of great. I can't really remember which ones that he uses for the AI uses first, but it's pretty dang awesome. If you were to consider another person you want to be fast as well, Poggle is another great one here, just so you can get out some more of this special, more offense, so you get early on offense and more damage early on, and you get some more turn meter for each debuff dispelled, which, probably at the beginning it's not going to be crazy, but it can, be awesome. And you get other assists as well. So, pretty simple, I think, there, just GBA. So, moving on, I'm not going to talk about these two teams. We'll probably just go over them really fast, but, okay, so for this team, yeah, you're not going to be running her. You're going to be tossing in your Droid BB-8. So I can't even toss him in. But typically you're going to have BB-8 in here. You want him to be the fastest so that you get more secret intel out. And with that, on this unique, I think it's right here. Yep. It says whenever another ally suffers a debuff, or when another resistance ally gains secret intel, she gains more TM. So you want BB-8 to be fast here, and other droids to be kind of fast, so that she can go pretty dang fast to use your mind tricks, get her Defiant Slash off, more assists, more turns. So, yeah, if you want to run R2 here, I would still, and also recommend you want to run a fast R2, just so that you can get off burning here. And the more burning you get and the more exposes you get, the faster your team will go. So with those two in mind, BB-8 and R2, I would say go for BB-8 the fastest, and then R2 being kind of fast right afterwards, just so you get the JTR turns going, the secret intel flying around everywhere, and you'll be good to go. So that's that team. And then offense. So offense is kind of simple. This is the 501st team with General Anakin Skywalker. This one's very simple. The only one you really need fast here is Rex. The reason why you want Rex fast is for form up. He gives out 60% turn meter to his clones and half of that to non-clones. And also more turn meter for each debuff dispelled. So you want this guy to be the fastest just so you can do that ability. Your clones go first. Your gas goes first. And it is a sight to behold, boys and girls. It is awesome. And also with that ability, you get a earlier cooldown reduction to your other aerial advantage to one-shot somebody. So you can kind of just boom, boom, boom that. And it's good. It's really, really fun to see. So this one's super easy. You just want Rex to be the fastest, so it gives that more turn meter to your clones and your gas. If you're running Shock T there as well, you get even more speed with Shock T lead, so it's even easier. The only other one I would probably say you want kind of fast is Shock T outside of Rex, because you do want to have her go, because she can feed out a lot more turns and hits and cleansing to all your clones. So you probably want her to be fast as well. In this team here, this is a Basilee. This counters, it could be Basilee or JKR. This counters Grievous team. So in this one that I would probably recommend to be the fastest is your Jedi Knight Revan. So there are different ways to mod these guys depending on who you're going to run as your leadership. But for the most part, you still want your Jedi Revan to be the fastest, because in like a Wat Tambor with Grievous team, you want to make sure that you mark him first for Wat, and you want your Revan to be the fastest in that aspect. If you were to run a different team, maybe versus a non-Wat team, maybe you would want to go for Hermit Yoda being the fastest, so that you can give it to Grandmaster Yoda, and then he does his AoE, and then he gives all the buffs, and then that means that B2 gets out of stealth, and boom, 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 you can mark him easier. So yeah, I would still say you want your Revan to be the fastest, and then following up your Hermit Yoda. Everybody else here will be totally fine, a little bit decent of a speed. You get extra speed in the JKR lead, you get more turn meter in the Basilee lead, so you don't need them to be super, super fast. Especially your Yoda, he does not need to be fast because he gets so much extra turn meter on his basic Ataru. Ataru? Ataru. There you guys go. Okay, so CLS and Rebels is next on the list. So for this one, maybe it's a simple one to you guys. This is in the gas counter that I'm showing right now, but typically in all-around use, inside the gas and outside the gas counter, you want your commander, Luke Skywalker, to be the fastest one because, oh, where did he go? Because with his leadership, it says here, whenever somebody resists a detrimental effect, they get more turn meter. So that's one thing. The second thing, that's probably the biggest thing, is that whenever he inflicts a debuff, he gains turn meter, and other allies gain half of that. So half of 10 is 5% turn meter on top of the leadership, even more turn meter gain. You want him to be fast so that you can give out more turn meter to your rebels, like your Han and Chewie, so that your Han and Chewie can go ballistic on the enemy team. So that's a huge thing. If you guys were to run this in the gas team, you don't need your old enemy fast because he gets crazy turn meter from his unique as well. So there you guys go. I think maybe CLS can get something here with more turn meter. Nope, just that. So I'm not sure why I was going with there. But you do get some more turn meter with his unique, It Binds All Things, and his leadership. So you for sure want him to be the fastest one here. If you were to run him run him versus a Darth Revan team, then I would say with 3PO and you would want to use Thrawn there, you want those two to be fast. And we'll probably go over that in a different video if you guys want me to. But first, just all-around use CLS, you want him to be the fastest. Okay, so going on here, Darth Traya, Darth Sion. So this is an interesting one. This is typically for the bug counter. So for that counter, you don't really need anybody to be fast in that particular counter. But there are some other teams maybe you would want them to be kind of fast in. I do like a fast Traya, but she is kind of hard to get that fast. So I think just for the time being, we're probably not going to go over these guys too much. But if you guys were to consider who you want to be the fastest or one of the fastest, probably Traya, just to get earlier isolate off, and Sion being really tanky because he's a tank and he can get his help by hatred up a little bit quicker. So that's that one. Kind of hard to go over for that. I'm pretty sure we can figure out a different use for them later on. But this is another team here I like using. So this is an EP with BSF. This can counter Grievous teams. If you don't want to use these guys with BSF and you want to use like a Vader in here, well, we can slot out Darth Nihilus for Vader, wherever he may be. Wherever he may be, Vader, where are you at, buddy? So you could like use one of these teams. You can even slot out BSF if you want. But in this team, I do like a fast Vader. A fast Vader, he gets even more he gets more speed rather for each Empire ally, Sith ally, Jedi enemy, and Rebel enemy. So yeah, you're gonna get a lot of extra speed here. Mine is right now at 244 plus I think it's 56 if you have a full team of Sith and Empire. So you want him to be the fastest, so you get a Culling Blade and your Force Crush off. So Force Crush first, and then a Culling Blade. You get a lot of crazy turn meter for your Empire. And another one, if you guys were to run this team, I do like that BSF if you want to have a fast BSF. If you don't want to run her, and you want to just like use a typical counter versus like a Karth or maybe a First Order, I would recommend TIE Fighter Pilot, because he's one of the fastest characters in the game, and he also can spam a crazy ton of debuffs with his AoE, and also on his basic. And whenever he does, what does it say? At the end of his turns, he gets Foresight rather. Whenever there's for each debuff enemy, he has a 10% chance to get it, or he has 30. Oh my gosh, a 35% chance to get that Foresight, and he gets even more turn meter. So that's great. So I do like me some TFP. And for Palpatine, yeah, you probably do want to be kind of fast. I'd say like 240-ish. But really, if you have a fast Vader, if you have a fast TFP, if you're going to run the BSF in here, you'll be totally fine. You don't need to be that fast at all. And also, I guess, going on to that team, just finish that up. If you were to run Thrawn, you do want your Thrawn to be kind of fast, so you can get some earlier fractures, some earlier team-up swaps. So yeah, I think that's kind of Thrawn. In any team you want to use him, guys, you got to have a fast Thrawn. Just kind of plain and simple out there. Okay, so the next team here is with Crew. This is my Nightsister counter, but you don't need a lot in here to use them, you know, in general. If you guys were to run this team, I'm assuming you probably run one like this, maybe, versus Karths. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't used guys in Karths versus Karths in a long time. But in this team, I would probably say you need your officer to be one of the fastest, with your Kylo Ren and Mask to be also equally as fast, just so you can get an early on TM, or giving the TM to somebody else, and also getting out Crew, or having him be fast so you can give out even more stuns. If you were to run this new Hux, I would say you want him to be kind of fast as well, because you get even more assists going as well, and another Dispel, which is awesome. But typically, we're going to just talk about this team here. So in this team, you want your officer to be fast, you want your crew to be fast as well, but make sure your officer is faster than your crew, I think. So going on, Padme. So Padme gets a lot of different uses in your GACs. So if you run her defensively, you want Padme to be the fastest one here. You do. Because with that, she's going to be getting an early on kick to kind of stop the enemy team early on in their tracks, and makes it so she can cycle back to her cleanse even faster. But if you're not going to use her on defense and you wanted to use her, let's say, versus Darth Revan team in Malak, you want to run her slow, like the counters I've shown you guys previously. And maybe if you don't want to use her versus Darth Revan on offense and you just want to use her versus a center team, I would still probably say you want her a little bit faster. Really, the only reason you want her slow is if you're using her and planning on using her versus those Malaks. If you're not using her versus Malaks, you want her to be the fastest one there. But besides Padme, I do like a fast GK, a General Kenobi. And if you were to slot in 3PO here as well, I do like a fast 3PO. Anakin can be kind of fast. He doesn't be super fast. I kind of slowed him down a little bit. He's at 220 now. I think a good speed for Anakin is around the 250 mark. So nothing crazy fast. Ahsoka gains a little bit more speed with her unique here, so you don't need to worry about her at all. But really, the main ones here are Padme, GK, and 3PO, with a huge emphasis on Padme. So going on here, I think that's about it, actually. I guess we can chat about the other teams I might have forgotten. So one team I think I might have forgotten was Ewoks. If you guys do plan on using Ewoks and in your GAC, and let's say you're going to use them versus like a really crappy crew team or something like that, or if you want to use them on defense, right? The one I would say you want to be the fastest is going to be your Paploo. So this is kind of an interesting one. So Paploo, if you guys didn't know, he is a tank, but with his unique here, he gets even more speed whenever he doesn't have taunt. So he's going to start off with no taunt in the battles, which makes him already have really fast speed. So you can make him go like really fast. If you were to use him on offense, there's an interesting turn order and ways to go about that. Pretty much you use your Galvanize. Use that first when he's that fast. You give it to Logray for the assist. He uses his Prophetic Visions. You get even more turn meter. And then at that point, all your Ewoks have full turn meter. So in that team, you want your pathway to be the fastest. If you were to use them on offense, I'd say. On defense, it doesn't matter as much. They're going to get Nest soloed anyways. Probably don't want to use them on defense, guys. Just going to give you a hint out there. Probably don't. Unless you want to be like me and toss in Malik. Okay, so another one I think I missed here was the Trooper team. Let's just go over here to the Troopers. So the Trooper team, one guy you want to be the fastest, and that is Stark. So Stark, you need to have him the fastest so that you can give out this scan all wavelengths, get 2 buffs, the crit chance and the crit damage, and then he also gets even more turn meter for each Empire ally and each Rebel enemy. So with that, why does he get so much turn meter to the team? Well, in General Veer's leadership, it says here, Imperial Trooper allies gain 20 speed and gain also 10% turn meter whenever they gain a buff. So pretty much you're getting 20% turn meter whenever they get that special off with Stark, which is huge. And also, if you guys do want to try to kind of time it so you have Stark going, and then right after you have Death Trooper, and then I would probably say Veers right after, and then range kind of fitting in somewhere in between, because he does give out a lot of extra buffs on his steady move. You give out even more recovery of protection up rather, and retribution, which is awesome, and you get even more assist with range. So it's a great one. I would recommend getting range up. I got to get them up, but pretty much who you want to be the fastest one here is Stark, because you get even more turn meter. So I think we're about done here. I guess we can just chat kind of briefly about the Carth team. I'm not a huge fan of it, but in this team, if you really want to go over who you want to be the fastest, I would say you want Zalbar to be one of the fastest ones. Yeah, he's a tank. He is very hard to get that fast. But the reason why you want him to be kind of fast is so that you can get your mission going and giving out even more hits off early on. And with this, if he's fast, the AI is going to use his special first, which gives him taunt. If you can get taunt on him first, early on, and also inflict armor shred, that is really huge. You don't need your mission to be that fast. In fact, she can be one of the slowest ones on your team. But you want him to get a taunt up early so that he gets hit a lot, and with that, he gets stacking defense every time he's getting hit, which is incredible. It's really hard, like I said, to get him that fast. Yeah, he's 177. It's really hard, guys. If you guys could, I would shoot for maybe 230, 240. That's probably really insane speeds. I gotta let you know. But if you can, that's really good. But it's not a great team on defense. It really just gets steamrolled by quite a handful of teams. So if you guys were, though, to go for a fast set on anybody in that team, it's got to be Zalbar. Another one, I guess you could say, is your Carth, because he gets out a little bit more hits off early on as well, and also Canderous, but I would say Zalbar needs to be one of the fastest ones there. Okay, guys. I think that's about it. We went over some Sith. We went over some Sith Empire. Separatist, we forget anybody here? Nope, I don't think so. So, guys, I think that's going to probably wrap it up for me today. We went over some of my favorite defenses and offenses, and also some other ones that I might have missed as well. Who needs to be the fastest person on your teams for GAC when it comes to your roster? Here we go. I gave it to you guys. This is actually an older video I did a while ago, but I decided to redo this because of the new stuff we've gotten since then. And I will also, if you guys do want to, or if you guys want me to, I can also give you a video like this. But who needs to be the slowest, or who doesn't need mods whatsoever at all? Let me know down below in the comments below, guys. And if you guys enjoy this video, let me know as well. If there's anyone that maybe you guys have swapped around and who should be the fastest, maybe let me know there as well. Maybe I messed up here. Let me know as well down below. But that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a like, share it around. And also sub to the channel if you guys are new here. We're trying to hit our 8K sub goal. And if we do hit that, I'll do another giveaway for Hyperdrive. So you guys got to sub to the channel. It's going to be awesome. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Go check out Discord. Go check out the Patreon and the channel memberships. That's it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see y'all later. Peace out.